Hello, this is Mark with the Pragmatic Podcast. This is the episode number 1. Starting this podcast to take a look at some of the problems we are facing in the United States from a pragmatic view. Lately, a lot of what's been happening in the media is that they're pushing this narrative. It's either left or right. And when you look at it, both sides have valid arguments for a lot of these problems. Both sides have a lot of valid points. But what you don't see is people trying to sit down and talk about stuff in a non-argumentative way and trying to really solve these problems, using common sense and using critical thinking and looking at the data. It's all about emotion. Who can get their side more emotional? Who can stir up anger? Who could stir up emotions? But you have to look at the data. You have to look at things in a pragmatic way. And for those of you who don't know what pragmatic means, it means in a non-theoretical way, in a factual way. So when one thing pragmatism does, it strips away emotion and it looks at things in a factual way. It looks at things data-wise. It looks at things from the numbers. So we will be facing a lot of different topics that the U.S. is facing. We'll be talking about a lot of different topics that the U.S. is facing, but looking at the data, looking at it in a factual way and seeing what can we do, how can we solve these problems. I think I have a unique perspective. A little bit about me. I'm a black man, in America. I wasn't born here. I was born in Trinidad and Tobago, and I came over here when I was 15. So I may not always think like an African American. I may not always see it in their point of view. I understand why things could happen like the way they did sometimes, but to me, I still think that because of the way I was brought up, I still think that the buck always stops with you. So this is the first podcast. As it goes on, my point of view, my worldview will develop more, and people will agree. A lot of people won't. Some people may want to kill me, call me names, but that's just part of putting yourself out there. At the end of the day, I just want what's best for my people, because I consider myself, even though I was born in Trinidad, I consider myself African American. If walking down the street, I'm seen as an African American. And I wear that. I wear that with pride. So I am in this fight with my brothers and sisters. I know a lot of them may not see it like that, may see me as an outsider, But I'm in the fight there with them, and I just want what's best for my people. Now, I may try to do it in a different way, but at the end of the day, I honestly and genuinely want what's best for my people. So some of the topics we'll be talking about, Black Lives Matter, abortion, Democrats versus Republicans, systematic racism, the role of the church, the role of Christianity, and most of these podcasts I will be doing, unless I have a guest. I have a lot of interesting people who like to debate me at work. We get into a lot of good, heated, intellectual debates, and I'll bring them on sometimes, because they're smart, intelligent people, good people, and they want what's best for them. I don't think my ideals strive that far away from people like Malcolm X or Dr. Umar Johnson. I just think, or even like a person like Eric Thomas, Dr. Eric Thomas. But we will see. Everyone has their own point of view. Okay, well, let's see. Yesterday, I posted an article from CNN about these 5 kids who were killed over the weekend. And the CNN had the article with the 5 kids. I posted it on my Facebook page, and I was outraged, because I was saying, where 5 of our babies. I'm a father of 2 kids as well, a young black man and a 2-year-old black boy, who will grow up to be a black man. He'd probably be 6 feet tall and scary, and a 5-week-old girl. So I have a stake in this too, and they are fully African American. They've been born and they will be bred here. So I have a stake in this too, and I just want what is best for them as well. But I saw that. What the hell? Man, this is crazy. People acting up in DC. But I saw that. I hope you guys enjoy the view of me driving home. It's pretty nice. I really like it. It's something to look at while you listen to the podcast. I saw that these kids were killed. One of them in particular there was a Black Lives Matter protest, and then the family, they were blocking the street, and this family, the wife, the husband, and the kid in the back seat, they decided to drive through the protest. Then someone shot into the car and killed this 8-year-old girl, which is, sad. Now, I'm not condoning that the parents should have been driving through the protests. That's wrong. They could have really injured someone. But then someone else, 2 wrongs don't make a right. Someone shot into the car and killed an 8-year-old girl. The girl died in her mom's arms, and they had a press conference where the mom was on there crying like her heart was broken, and it broke my heart as well. So I'm just baffled, because I'm like, in all these 5 cases, not one person was arrested, you know. And this person who did that particular shooting in Atlanta, whereby they were at the rally and the Black Lives Matter rally, then they shot into a car. Someone saw what happened there. This wasn't some kind of accidental shooting, some drive-by shooting. You know, there was a crowd of people there. You know, now if it was a cop, you know, who did it, by now they would have pointed out the cop. You know, the racist pig cop, whatever. But someone isn't talking, and this is completely disgusting to me. How you want people to take you seriously? How are you gonna go to a Black Lives Matter rally, kill black people, and not even turn the perpetrator in? Someone knows what went down. Someone knows what happened, and no one is talking. And this is something. We can't blame this on systematic racism. We can't say that, oh, you know, it was the white pig cop or the black, you know, token cop, or, you know, whatever. You know, someone knows what happened and no one is talking. And we see this too often in our community, whereby this is just another day in the office. You know, people are treating it as another day in the office. 5 of our babies were killed. 5 of them in one weekend. You know, they didn't even feature the adults, but 5 of our babies were killed, and not one person arrested. And they weren't killed by the pig cops. They were killed by our own. And we as a community have to stop tolerating this behavior. You know, I know it may not be the most popular view, but we have to stop tolerating this behavior. I bet if that little girl, one of those little girls or boys, was killed by a cop, there would be riots all over the country. Why aren't we? I'm not even asking for a riot. I'm asking for an anonymous tip. An anonymous tip. Why are we tolerating us killing ourselves? You know, we shouldn't be. And if we want people in this nation, other races, to take us seriously and say, yes, black lives do matter, you know who it has to matter to first? It has to matter to us first. We have to care enough about ourselves to not let absolutely atrocious, disgusting things like this happen. Okay? Sorry if I got a little heated there, but oh man, I can't believe it. People, this is, you know, this is not normal. This 5 kids being killed on a weekend, 5 of our own baby, not a Mexican baby, not a Chinese baby, not a white baby, not an Indian baby, just being killed. That's not normal. And we have to stand up in our community. I'm not saying there aren't people doing it, but the energy level, the enthusiasm that we would give towards a cop killing, you know, we need to transfer that same energy to cleaning up our communities of this violence. Because the truth is, at the end of the day, the buck for our progress stops with us. Yes, systematic racism is a huge contributing factor. You know, yes, 400 years of slavery, you know, 100 years, 50, 60 years of Jim Crow, 100 years of being, another 40 years, 50 years just being put in the ghetto, no opportunities, redlining. Yes, all of that contributed to where we are right now. That you know, all of that contributed. But who is going to fix it? Who is going to fix it for us? Can we that was a red light. Yes, who is going to fix it for us? Can we have to fix it ourselves. And it's not that you know, we aren't deserving of things like reparations. We didn't get any reparations, we didn't get any opportunity, but we can't afford to wait another 50, 60 years for the system to do the right thing, for the system to turn around and give us our just due. We have to pick up for ourselves and each other and fix the system, fix this ourselves. We now have enough, I believe, we now have enough opportunity in the black community. We have enough wealth in the black community to help our brothers and sisters in ways we couldn't 50, 60 years ago. You know, we have multiple billionaires. We have multiple millionaires. And we have to collectivize our power and our resources and reinvest in our community, because the system isn't going to do it for us. You know, people talk about Joe Biden, you know, we're going to vote Trump out. This November. But what people need to understand, that's why they call it a system. You know, no matter who you put in there, you're going to end up with the short end of the stick. You know, President Obama, you know, I'm not 100% his, he's not 100% my favorite person, you know, but he was very symbolic for us in the black community. He did a lot for us by showing that we can reach the mountaintop. We can lead the world, and he did it. He did it in a much more classy way than Trump. You know, he didn't have any kind of cheating scandals and sleeping with porn stars and that kind of stuff. You know, I'll give that to him. But, you know, one thing I'll fault him for is I don't think he did enough for the black community. I know the Republicans were, oh my goodness, I know that they were blocking everything, you know, they said, but blocking everything he tried to do. But, you know, he should have made a way. You know, Trump, I give it, say what you might about him, what you want about him, but the dude moves like he don't give to us. You know, he really doesn't. You know, he prefer to go through an impeachment to get what he wants to do. You know, so, and that might be, that is white privilege. You know, because if Obama tried that, then maybe people would be a lot more mad. But in your second term, you gotta be a little more radical about how you do stuff. He did make a lot of progress for the LGBT community, but what about his community, the black community? I didn't see too much action on that front. So, what was I saying? I forgot. You know, we need people like President Obama to be our leader, and speak for the black community right now, and take our goals, wants, and missions and present them to a political side and say, hey, unless you do X, Y, and Z, the black vote won't come out. And if both of them say no, we're not going to do that, I say we don't vote. You know, a lot of people, you know, look at me and say, what, we don't vote? We can't do that. You know, our ancestors fought for us not to vote, fought for us to vote. You know, we can't just sit out an election. But the truth is, you know, it doesn't matter if we sit out for one election. You know, another election is coming up in 2 years. You know, we've been getting the short end of the stick for 400 plus years. What's another 2 years? You know, don't vote. You know, what's another 2 years for people to take us seriously? And you know, one thing I personally was insulted by was that Joe Biden would, you know, Joe Biden would have the audacity to go on a show like The Breakfast Club and say to black people, you know, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. You know, like because, and offer us nothing. You know, he offered us absolutely nothing except I'm not Trump, I'm better than Trump. You know, vote for me, you're in black. And even Charlemagne said that, hey, you know, we still need to talk about ideas, you know, things in our community that we want, things that we want to see change. And, you know, that didn't matter because he knows black people are going to come vote for him no matter what. You know, I don't have to offer them anything. You know, you know, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Can someone please tell me offhand without, you know, going up on this campaign site and trying to find 2 lines or something? Tell me what Joe Biden has to offer the black community. I know what Trump had to offer the conservative side. He offered to build a wall, you know, a big, nice, beautiful American wall. You know, to build the wall. He offered, you know, taking away, you know, immigrants, you know, locking up criminals, law and order, you know, just key phrases, you know, that would really, you know, go with his base and the people, some of his base. You know, he offered abortions, no abortions, you know, and he actually delivered on some of these things. What has Joe Biden offered the black community for us to say yes and no, besides being, I'm not Trump? You know, what has Joe Biden offered the black community? What has he offered the black community? Nothing really. Doesn't have a plan for us. Doesn't care about improving our lives. Just, you mofos better go vote for me. Or you in black. You know, I ain't Trump. You know. So that to me was personally insulting. And I feel as black people, You know, we need to rally behind, I don't know, the NAACP, you know, President Obama, somebody to package our ideals and present them to those in power and say, hey, we will get you in power, we will keep you in power if you vote for us. If you do this or that for us, you know, give us, you know, maybe we have a line item of 10 items, you know, give us 3 or 4 of them, and you have the black vote next election. You take it away, we take away our vote. You know, what people need to look at this in a pragmatic way. You know, all politicians are prostitutes. Prostitutes for power, prostitutes for money. And you have to treat them like prostitutes. You know, they aren't gods, they aren't, you know, special people of noble character. They are whores and prostitutes, you know, trying to hook themselves up, make some money, secure their legacy. That's really what they want. Serve my butt. You know, I don't believe that. You know? So when they go in there, they go in broke, they come out multi-millionaires. All of them do it. You know, they get book deals, they insider trade. So treat prostitutes like prostitutes are. You don't treat them good. You don't roll out the red carpet to a prostitute. You say, hey, you do this for me, I give you some money. And the money in this case is votes. I'll give you some votes, I'll keep you in power, you're my prostitute. So these are my thoughts for the day number 1. I don't want to make the podcast too long. I could probably go on for hours talking about this nonsense, you know. But you know, and just in summary, our starting a new podcast. I want you guys to listen, give me a lot of feedback, good and bad. I want to hear how much I suck. I want to hear how much I'm an Uncle Tom or coon, or I want to hear if I make some sense. You know, I'm trying to look at this, you know, in a practical way. You know, also I do believe that our black community, you know, everybody who's supporting Black Lives Matter, you know, need to stand up with the same fire and fury to the atrocities that's happening in our community. Let's start there. Let's not say, oh, it's all, you know, white systematic racism, which is true, but you have to start doing what you can do. You know, start with what you can do on your part, and part of that is to hold your own community to a higher standard, because what went down on this weekend, 5 of our babies dead, no one saw anything, although, you know, at least probably like 3 or 4 people, you know who was shooting, what went down. No one saw anything, and our babies are dead, and mothers are grieving. We can't have that, you know, we can't have that. Let's start doing what we can do to make things better. Okay? So I'll talk to you guys again tomorrow when I'm driving home. I hope you guys enjoyed the view. It helps me stay awake driving home. And, you know, let me know what you think. This is the Pragmatic Podcast. Lots of love. Bye.